Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. You know, I have an opportunity to share something with you, and it's a pleasure. And I want to, really say I thank you for those of you who subscribe, for those of you who might ring the bell to hear things when they are available to you. I notice, however, that every now and then I might have, I can see myself losing a few of my subscribers, and I hope that it is because maybe I'm throwing too much at you, or you just not interested. That's cool, but I don't want it to be. I say something that you don't like, and you say, "Well, you're gonna detach yourself from what I'm saying," because that's not why I'm saying it. I'm not asking anybody to approve what I say or what I'm doing. The truth is, I want you to, but I'm not asking you to. The truth of the matter is that I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do. It is my job to do what I'm doing. You know, let's look. I've shared this before. You look at Bill Gates. There are a lot of people working with computers even before Bill Gates, but Bill Gates came along and he took it to a different level. That was his job. That's what he came here to do. Steve Jobs, the guy with the telephone. We know the telephone is magnificent now. I used to have a camera here and there and all of this. Everybody had cameras. Now with a little item like a telephone, a little flat item like a telephone, really, you can do as much with it as you can almost do with those big other machines. So everything has its point and place and time. Now, my purpose here in this lifetime is to be able to share with the people who will listen what is required to have a wonderful, loving, joyous, happy life. That's my job. People don't automatically know this. I mean, kids do. Kids automatically know how to have a real good time. But as they grow up and mature into a different level of understanding about life, which has been corrupted by men, it's not a thing that happens naturally. Natural has been used for exploitation. For instance, when I tell you that one of the ways that the divine made for all of us to have the best life that you can imagine is if you're looking at these trees right here. You see how the wind is blowing in them, they're green and the season is just right. I'm standing on green grass, I guess a hollow, well, solid ground. Trees all around. This stuff is happening. And the plan, I want to say the plan. I was watching something on television this morning and I saw on YouTube somebody was asking about why evil people are rich and good people usually aren't. I didn't watch the video. I just saw the subject because I wanted to respond to that. I've done it 1,000 times, but I want to do it again. And I'll go back and see if we're on the same page. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what we're basically saying is that as we look at this earth, back to the subject I was talking about a moment ago, that has been provided for. Now, the grass and stuff, we can take seeds and plant it. We can help. We can do stuff. But basically, it all comes from some other place. Now, all of the resources that are essentially necessary for men to do the things that men will be able to do based upon what has already been designed for men to do, even though we might not know what it is at this time because it has not come to our imagination. But it's in its place. But whatever it is, the resources that will be required are either above the earth, seen or unseen, on the earth, seen or unseen, or in the earth, seen or unseen. All there. Now, who benefits from that? Who will benefit from? Well, let's say there are certain things that everybody benefit from. They called essentials for survival: food, clothing, shelter, education, and healthcare. These things are absolutely necessary. You can throw transportation in there, and Throw it all. These things are absolutely necessary. So the resources to meet these needs for as many people as need them is already here. Now, since people need them, then everybody's prepared, according to the design process, to play a role in the manifestation of these things. Now, rather than you going around here building houses, taking care of your food, being your doctor, being all on and all on, all the thing you got is that one gift that you were given. And that gift gives you your greatest joy. Now, there was a time you had to do all these things, but times change. People are numbers, billions now. So what do you do now? You take your gift, your particular gift. It might have something to do with construction. It might have something to do with teaching. It might have something to do with horticulture. It might have farming. It might have to do anything. Digging ditches, stocking shelves. But you got a gift that when you exercise it, when you're doing it, it gives you your greatest joy. Now, if you're doing a job right now and that's your greatest joy, that's your gift. Many of you are already being paid for it. If you're not enjoying your gift, you're not having joy, that's not your job. You got that job trying to make a living. Well, see, all of that is corrupt because that's not part of the plan. The plan is that your gift has made a place for you, and there's a place for you in a career. And by doing that gift, it might just be stocking shelves. It might be just digging ditches, but it's only because you love it. It's needed now. Not only that, you could be a teacher, engineer, whatever, only because you love it. And guess what? It gives you what money cannot give you. See, you can never get enough money. That's why people have billions and billions of dollars trying to amass more and more and more, because you can never get enough of it. But here's the difference. The way the plan is designed is that since each of you played a part in the process, now each of you have ownership in the finished product. All the stuff that exists by the hands of man belong to all of the people that participated in it. And they're all joyous, and all of this other stuff is just cream on the top. You cannot beat that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the mission that I was given. Not only was I given that mission, I was qualified to do it, to be able to speak to you knowing what I'm talking about. I've traveled this country, I've traveled abroad, I've studied, I've watched, I've seen pain and suffering. I know where it's coming from because I listen and I hear. And I not only know that, I have something else. I have a connection with the Spirit of love that shows me the light out of darkness. And so, yes, this is why I come out here to tell you this. I tell you this. I don't get paid. I've been doing this for 40 years. You haven't given me a single cent. And when I thought about maybe doing some DVDs and CDs and booklets and brochures, and maybe could just sell them to you, ask you look for a gift so I could replenish and keep on doing it. I didn't even do that. I get what I can and give it to you, because I want you to know the information. It was given to me free. It was given to me free. So I have to give it to you free. But the whole purpose, my friend, is so that you would have the information to choose in your walk of life. Do you want to live in heaven or do you want to live in hell? And I'm not talking about a place you go to. I'm talking about a place you create. You know, you have to, now that's basically the information. But I want to just pinpoint a couple of things how people can use to distort. You remember when Donald Trump came on the scene? I don't think he expected to become president of the United States, but after he got it, he started loving it and started thinking about plans to keep it going. I'm sure he had help from all of the dictators around the world. I'm sure they gave him all kind of information. And so I'm sure he embraced it because he's tried to implement it here in this country. So you got this guy who comes in and he knows that in order for him to be successful in trying to take over this country, you got to split us up more than we already are. You know, we split in race, split in religion, split in everything, especially economics. And so now he wants to split us even more by talking about we're trying to take over, split us even more by saying things that Doesn't even make any kind of sense. And then, but that's a seed just planted. That's a seed. Go along with everything else that they've been taught and trained to think negative about another people. And I'm not just talking about Trump's people and white people. And I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, when I say that white people being cruel and mean, I want the black people to know that I'm not coming at you just as hard, but I'm coming at you hard too, because the power of truth says it doesn't matter how hard somebody come at you to take away your truth. You are just as obligated to stand up for your truth as they are to not try to take it away from you or to take it away from you. You got to stand. And if they break theirs and come at you, you break yours when you say, okay. There's no difference. There's no difference. Both of you are crooked. Both of you are serving Satan. Both of you are serving evil. That means there's two conducts. That's what it represents, evil. So when this guy comes at you and he plants a seed about the Democrats trying to steal, just going to prove a point, Democrats trying to steal the election, smart. He's telling you, now we have gotten a chance to see it, ladies and gentlemen. We see how he planted that seed. The Democrats steal the election, thinking that he might not get a chance to win again, especially since he tried to get Kuwait to give him some dirt on Biden so he can just plant all kinds of lies. The guy knows how to lie. Give me some dirt. He has somebody, give me some dirt. It doesn't have to be true. Just give it to me and my senators. We'll work this stuff out because we got it together. We know how to lie. That's what he was actually saying, and that's what he said. But what he did, when he tried to start the steal, stop the steal, he plant that seed, and everybody went looking everywhere, looking for something. Couldn't find a dead blasted thing. But they started instituting for the future. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, they couldn't find a thing. But what happened? They got busted. And on tomorrow night, the 9th, I believe, 8th or 9th, you're going to watch on television, prime time. You're going to watch what the Democrats caught them doing. And guess what they were doing? Trying to steal. Trying to steal. They weren't trying to stop a steal before. They were trying to steal. And they were trying so hard and so fast to steal till they set up their own capture. They set up their own capture. And guess what? They got evidence from A to Z. It's not, we're going to come up with it. It's no fictitious stuff. It's, they got evidence from A to Z. Now, here's what's going to happen. That's going to free some people to say, wow. Wow. I mean, because some people literally believed that what they were being said was actually happening. Some people literally believed that. But some people believed it because, well, it's lined up with other things that's happening. But when he comes back with this evidence, they're going to say, I can't believe it, that these guys, these people tried this. This is what they're going to say. Some of them are going to wake up. Some of them won't. But the message, ladies and gentlemen, is to all of us to see what's going on. Now, when you hear the guy says, why is it that rich people, evil people, evil always seem to be rich and good seems to be poor? The reason is because we have a system set up to benefit those who are willing to do certain things. The system is set up, my friends, not to be humble and nice and good and righteous. No, the system is dog eat dog. The system is set up in such a way that the one that is willing to go to whatever extreme, quick pro quo, give me some back, or to steal, or to cheat, and the one that's willing to do those things are the ones that's going to be the most wealthiest. They're willing to do more to get. They're willing to kill. They're willing to take land. They're willing to make people slaves. So that's why your evil folks are going to be the richest, because for some strange reason, the poor people, the good people, didn't get the message. You don't take it. You don't even live in a system like that. You don't live in a system that exploits people. You do not permit yourself to live in a system like that, where there are some people suffering. There are some people going through poverty and crime and violence and poor, and other people living like a dream. No, people who know righteousness do not permit themselves to live in a situation like that. So at the same time, when those guys, when they're rich, those who will do anything to get it, when they come at you, if you bend to it, then you're just as guilty as they are, because the requirement is that you have as much faith in God protecting you, that power that created you is in charge of everything. But the moment you give in and say, oh, I can't do nothing about that, then you're saying that your God is not able. That means you don't really know your God. Now, I made another little note here, ladies and gentlemen, because I wanted to mention something about the level playing field. Many of you know there's a basketball championship that's going on today. And, or should I say during these times. Now, I want you to imagine, if you would, one team where all of the players on that particular team were 7 feet or above. And the opposing team, all the players were, say, 5'10" and under. Now, when you walk on the floor, you already know, unless these shorties got some shown up stuff going, this game is already over. Why? Because it's not a playing field that's level for the short guys to win. Not even for them to even be in the game. So if you're going to look for something that's going to be entertaining, something that's going to be even make any kind of sense, take a couple of calls on the team, on the floor, at least have some equal amounts of tall guys on the short team and some equal amounts of short guys on the tall team. Now you got a balance. But other than that, I mean, you're crazy. You know the end of that before you even get started. Anyway, I hope you get something out of that little statement, because I'm talking about black people and white people. I'm talking about trying to say you up here and I'm down here, and then you expect me to be up there, but not. Come on. What else I got here? The man with a gun. Oh, yeah. When we were taught evil, we were taught that one of the worst kind of evils was to kill a person, take a person's life. You can't give him that, but you can take it. Lying, cheating, stealing, all other stuff is bad. Super, 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 super bad. But killing is just something else. And we know that the biggest killing machine in our minds, our understanding, are white people. Now, there might be a lot of killing going on in other parts of the world. I'm sure there is. But for us, our connection is with white people. White people, guns and killing. When we see, I'm talking to the white people now. Now, this may be exactly what you want us to see. But when we see you walk around with guns, a pistol, or whatever, AK, this or that, we see we don't see power. We see a big bowl of ugly, evil, low-down, satanic devilishness. That's what we see when we see white people walking around with guns like that. Like when we see you on television going to the state capitol, we don't see you as people that's going to protect anything. We see you as the Satan trying to take people to hell, and you want to force them. See, that's what you got the gun for. You're not trying to deal with them, negotiate with them, trying to win them over. No, you come to say, I'm going to take you. And see, that's, to us, that's the most evil thing. So when we see you on TV with these guns, we're not afraid of you, because we know how to win. We know how to win. When I say we, I'm talking about righteous people. I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about righteous people, white, black, and ever. We know how to win. But I just want you to know, when you walk out there, there are those that praise you, and they are just like you. They're just like you. Now, was there one more little note I wanted to say? What was that note? Okay. A man taking a life, killing others. I guess I said it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this moment in time. Basically, I wanted to say to you again that today is a day that we're going to waste. We're going to waste it because you woke up this morning, pain and suffering was all over America. You went to the gas pump, the prices were still getting higher. You went inside to buy something, and it was higher. But your check wasn't any bigger. And those of you who didn't have a check, who has a food stamp that run out and now needs something, they got nothing, the first thing in your mind is how you gonna get it. It might mean you got to go and con somebody, or somebody gonna come into the community and drop some drugs to get you to start selling so you can make some money, so you're gonna get some more people hooked into drugs while we're going through this crisis stuff, and you're gonna have other people trying to explain how they're going to make it right by building some more jail cells and privatizing them so they can make money of the poor. Man, whoa, goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Or you can just decide, Republicans and Democrats, that it is kind of nice to be able to relax. It is kind of nice to not have to worry about where you're going to stay, where you're going to sleep, where your food coming from, and how you're going to dress. Nice, real nice to know that you got transportation, and you don't even have to worry about prices of the energy, gas, oil, nothing like that. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Ooh-wee. It's so nice to know that your neighbor is doing something that they really love. It might be the same thing that you're doing, but not. Doesn't matter, because both of you are loving what you're doing. And each of you know that you need each other doing what they're loving doing in order for you to be able to love doing what you're doing. And there's no lying, there's no cheating, there's no stealing, there's nobody walking around with guns and talking about what you're going to take and kill. Ladies and gentlemen, how in the world can you hear a message like this and you go in there arguing with a Republican or a Democrat? See, you fix up their lifestyle like this here, you don't have to worry about the guns. You don't have to worry about the abortions. You know, those things that you're complaining about, that you're picketing and boycotting about, all of them are individual things that keeps us divided. You ought to, if you were smart, you would know you'd bring it together. And you would go in there for change, not for this or this or this or this, splitting things up. You go for change that would encompass change for all of it. A new system, a brand new system. Come on, people. Come on. Come on. You are an American. You're supposed to be one of the smartest nations on the face of the earth. I know you can do it. I got faith in you. But I've been wrong before. But one thing I've never been wrong about, and that's the power, which is invisible. Thank you.